Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Yoga for grounding focuses on postures that connect with our root chakra, bringing harmony to the practice. After a couple of balance challenges, we will shift back into some grounding asanas to ease the mind and reconnect with the earth. Blocks are an option throughout the practice, so let's get started. We will begin in child's pose, so separate your knees, feet together. We're going to slide our hips to our heels and just walk your hands forward. Spread out those fingertips nice and wide. Start to shift your body side to side gently as you work your belly between your thighs and melt a little closer to the earth, letting your elbows soften down onto the floor or the mat, and then gently draw your forehead to the mat. If your forehead doesn't go to the mat, feel free to put a block under your forehead. And then just feel the body melting, grounding into the earth. And from here, I want you to take a nice, slow, long, deep inhale through the nose. And slowly exhale through the nose. And as you breathe in, feel the chest expand, feel the belly expand. As you exhale, feel the shoulders soften. Two more breaths here as we prepare for our practice today. Grounding into the earth, focusing on those first and second chakras of the body. If your head's on the floor, block and rock your head gently, side to side, massaging the forehead. That third eye again, grounding in there to the earth. And then find your center, spread out those fingers, lift your head just enough above the floor that you can look forward at your fingertips. Lift those elbows off the floor if they're on the floor. And then slowly use your palms, pressing them nice and firmly into the floor. Pull the belly in. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale as you raise up into tabletop. Slide those knees under the hips and then maybe walk your hands back just enough to slide them under the shoulders. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Now feel your crown of your head pulling towards the front of your mat as you lengthen through the spine. And then slowly pull the belly in, tuck your chin, rounding into a cat. Exhaling. Inhaling, lengthening, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, and then arching the back, lifting the head and the tailbone. And then exhale, round. As you do, press into the tops of the feet. And then inhale, lift again. Exhale, round. Just tuning into the spine, and then inhale, lift, pull those shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, round, last one. And then find your neutral spine, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and just breathe here, pressing into the fingertips and the palms. Slowly lift the right knee off the floor, and then circle it around, big hip circles. Rotating the knee. See if you can get that knee a little higher, increase the circle, bigger range of motion. One more time, and then we're going to change direction and circle it the opposite way. Loosening up those hips. And then pause and then extend that leg straight out behind you. And then bring the knee to the floor. Pull those shoulders back away from the ears, realign your posture, and then lift your left knee off the floor and circle that knee. And maybe you start with little circles, warming up that hip joint, maybe making them bigger as you go. Leveling out the hips and the weight between the hands and that back right knee. One more circle and then change direction. using that core, warming it up. And then slowly bring that knee back to neutral, and then extend that leg straight to the back of the mat, and then bring the knee to the floor. Good. Go ahead and go up onto the fingertips like tents, and then straighten out the spine. And look down at those fingers. Feel them kind of like a little massage, like you're pumping or squeezing the ground. So you warm up those fingertips, spread them out, lift the thumbs, and then stretch down into those palms. Take your right hand and extend it to the front of your mat. Extended tabletop, left leg to the back. Circle that left ankle. Feel that core working, warming up. And breathe. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Change direction of the ankle rotation. Think all the way down from the root chakra. Think of the color red, and then going all the way up the spine to the crown of the head. And then bring the elbow and the knee together to meet under the belly and extend them out. And 3 more times. In, extend out. 2 more, extend out. And then 1 more, extend out. And then bring the hand and the knee to the floor. Lengthen the spine, pull those shoulders away from the ears. Lift the left arm to the front of your mat, thumb to the sky. Extend your right leg to the back of the mat. Circle that right ankle. Think about that left knee and the right hand grounding into the earth. Feel the energy running from the root chakra all the way up the spine again to the crown of the head. Change direction of the ankle rotation. And then bring the elbow and the knee to meet underneath the belly with an exhale. Inhale, extend. And again, bring it in and extend. 2 more times. In and extend and in. An extended tabletop hold. And then bring the hand and the knee to the floor. Slowly walk your fingertips backwards towards your knees and then up your thighs. Coming up to a nice tall kneeling pose, hero. And then from here, we're going to stay where you are. I'm just turning so you can see. Open up that chest. We're going to go to gate. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side and place your right hand on that right thigh. Lift the left arm up. Lengthen through the spine. Slide your right hand down the outside of that right thigh, reaching your left arm over the top. And make sure your hips are not sliding backwards, but you're still tall. And now breathe in through the nose. Feeling your right foot and your left knee grounding into the earth. Feel that connection. Now after this next breath, you're going to take the left arm and you're going to windmill both arms to the left. Now if you need a block here, you can put a block under that left hand. Otherwise, you can try to reach for the floor. You can always go to the fingertips. And again, try not to let your hips fall backwards, keeping those hips forward, reaching that right arm over the ear, and then slowly coming all the way up. 1 more time, reaching it to the right, sliding that right hand to the right thigh. Should feel a little easier the second time. And then inhale both arms up to the sky. Exhale, palms to the chest. Pressing the palms in, lifting the elbows. And breathe. Just feel the pressure of the palms. Separate those fingertips. Pull the fingers apart and then press them back together. And then release the arms. Inhale, reach up nice and wide. Exhale the arms wide down to the hips. Pull that right knee in. Extend the left leg out to the side. Nice and tall. Inhale the right arm up. Slide the left arm down that left thigh. Reaching it over. Reach the right arm over to the left. And again, checking in with the hips. They're not falling backwards. And breathe. Feel the lungs. Exhale it out. Feel the expansion. And then we're going to take that right arm all the way down to the floor, windmilling the arms. Again, using a block under the hands if you need to. Keeping those hips pushed forward slightly so you're not collapsing through the chest or those hips. And breathing. If you don't have a block and that's uncomfortable, you can always hold the thigh. Use a little more core that way as well. 1 more breath. And then we're going to windmill it all the way back up. Reach to that left leg, reach the right arm overhead, and breathe. And then come back to center, reach arms up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Pull that left knee back under. So we're back where we started. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor, back to tabletop, but walk the hands a little bit more on the forward so you can shift to your knees. Find a modified plank. Spread out those fingertips. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and lengthen through the spine. Really pull in the belly a little bit more. So almost like you're rounding, curving through the upper back. So you're really engaging those core muscles. Tuck your toes under, but don't lift the knees off the floor. Keep them here. Pull the elbows into the rib cage and lower halfway down till your ribs, your elbows and your ribs meet, and then slowly press back up. Really firing up that core. Slowly let the elbows bend. Once they rub against the rib cage, exhale, push back up. One more time. Slowly lower. Halfway, about elbows to ribs, and then press back up. This time we're going to slowly lower all the way down to that chaturanga. Slowly, slowly, slowly to the belly. Once you get to the belly, walk your elbows forward. So your forearms are on the mat, fingertips spread out, palms on the mat. Bring your elbows just a tiny bit wider than your shoulders. Press your palms into the floor. Tuck your chin just enough so the crown of your head is pushing to the front of the mat. And then use your elbows and your palms to push into the floor like you're going to almost drag yourself forward so you can feel the extension of the spine. And then start to lift. Just enough that you can start to feel that lengthening through the belly. And just breathe here. It's a little modified baby cobra here. Option to lift a little higher if it doesn't bother your back. Just get a little bit of a back extension here. Stretching through the core. And then slowly bring the elbows back to the floor. And then lower all the way down to the belly. Slide your hands back to the chest. Now slide your hips back to your heels. So a variation of a child's pose. So your knees are still pretty close together. Then you're going to shift back to your modified plank. Shoulders over the wrists, on your knees. Tuck your toes. Slowly lower to your chaturanga. When you get to the belly, release the fingertips towards the chest, but right next to them, and lift the palms off the floor as you lift the upper body. So a baby midi little cobra, engaging a little bit of those back muscles and the belly, and then press the fingertips to the floor and push yourself back again to your hips to heels. So it's a modified grounded sun salute. And then we're going to, again, let's flow through it. Modified plank. Exhale down. Little baby cobra, lift the palms off the floor, look forward, hands to the floor, exhale back, hips to heels, and breathe. Then from here, we're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to go all the way to our downward facing dog. And then we're going to pedal out the feet. Walk your dog, rotate and roll all the way through the heels and the toes. Shift those hips, press into the fingertips and the palms. Just feel everything loosening up, stretching out. Notice if you have any tension anywhere. Stretch it out. And then soften the knees, press into those heels. Press your belly towards your thighs and fingertips into the floor. Draw your head between your arms for your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. And then slowly lift up into the toes, back into the heels. And then we're going to take a walk forward to the front of our mat. You're going to find your forward fold and reach both hands down so you can make two fists between the feet. So they're a little wider today. So you have a nice, firm, safe, grounded posture. Then we're going to place the hands on the shins. Let's lengthen and flatten out the back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend or soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then open your arms, finding your mountain. Draw those shoulders down and back. And then just feel the toes and each outer edge of the foot, both feet and the heels grounding into the earth. Feel your connection from the feet all the way up through the crown chakra, up through the spine, to the top of the head, all the way to the sky. But just feel how safe you are. Gravity holding us into the earth, grounding us here. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach both arms up. Take hold of the left wrist and gently pull that left arm to the right, sliding the hips to the right. Take another breath here, keeping those hips forward. And then inhale, lift. And then exhale the other wrist. Grab the right wrist, side bend, pushing the hips to the right as you lean to the left. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. I want you to bend or soften both knees, fingertips on the floor. You're going to take a big step back with that left leg. So you're coming to a lunge, and we're going to lower that left knee to the floor. So a very low lunge. And this is where if you need blocks, you can use blocks. One next to the foot on either side. Check in with your right knee that it's over the right ankle. And then we're going to walk the hands up onto the thigh. Open up a nice tall spine. Take a breath in as we reach the arms overhead. And then exhale the fingertips, palms together at heart space. Inhale the arms up. Slide the hips forward and turn to your right, reaching your arms to the back in front of the mat. Inhale, lift, turn back to center. Exhale, palms to heart space. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the feet. Bring that back knee off the floor. Now, if you can, kick off the back leg. Slowly stand up using the strength of the right leg and come all the way up to a single leg stance. Knee is up. Grounding into that right foot, and then place the left foot on the floor. And then readjust the toes so they're a little wider like we started. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend or soften the knees. Bring the hands to the floor. Take your right leg all the way back and lower the knee to the floor. So now your left leg is in front. Check your left knee. It's over the left ankle. And slowly walk your hands up the thigh. Now your back toes can be tucked under or not. It doesn't matter. Whatever feels good to you. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart space. Shift those hips forward. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. Reach the left arm to the back, right arm to the front. And then inhale the arms up. Back to center. Exhale, palms to heart space. And then inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands next to the feet. Tuck your back toe. Lift the back knee. Use that leg strength. Lift up, slowly rise into the left leg, coming up to a single leg stance. And then plant that foot onto the floor. Both feet are down. On the floor, take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. We do those forward folds, just grounding back into the earth. Check the feet. Take two fists and place them between the feet. And then take the hands on the shins. Let's inhale, lengthen, flat back. Half lift. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Good. Bend or soften both knees. Take that left foot back again. Right leg is in front. Lower that left knee to the floor. Keep your left toes tucked under. Walk the hands up again onto that thigh. Might feel a little easier the second time. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Now here, option, you can turn your upper body to the right, or you can even tuck the back of your tricep, that left tricep, into that right thigh. Press the palms, get a nice little twist here. and shift your hips forward. Now, option, you can stay here if you want a little more of a challenge. You can straighten out that left back leg. And just breathe here. Embrace the wobbliness. Feel the feet grounding into the earth. Feel the connection between the back and front leg. And then slowly lower the knee. Inhale, breathe back to center, lifting the arms. And then exhale the arms out to the side, like an airplane. Lift off your back knee. Try to lift up again, coming to a single leg stance. Pulling that left knee up, grounding into the right leg. Find your focal point, and then place the feet back on the floor. Find your mountain. Check your toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Check out your toes. Reach those two arms down. Two fists between the feet. Place those fingertips on the floor. Bend or soften those knees. Now you're going to take the right foot back. Lower the knee to the floor. Walking it up. So again, check in with that left knee. It's over the ankle. You're coming up. You're going to bring the arms up. Palms together and exhale to heart space. Keep your back right toe tucked under. Now option, you can twist towards that left leg, or you can even bring the tricep to the thigh. Press those palms together and try to open that heart to the left. Relax your shoulders. Now option is to straighten out that back leg and think about your root chakra and those back toes grounding into the earth, connecting through that root chakra to the front foot. And then slowly lower that back knee to the floor, and then bring the hands back to center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale them out to the side. It helps for balance. Pretend like you're pushing down on two invisible little walls next to you for balance. Lift the back leg, come all the way up onto that left leg, single leg balance, standing nice and tall, pulling the right knee up, grounding into that left foot, and then place that right leg back on the floor and ground into the earth. Open to mountain. Close your eyes for a moment, spread out the toes, feel the whole foot, right and left foot, grounding into the earth. Feel that support running up the legs, through the torso, through the arms, up through the neck and the crown of the head. Feel that connection from the sky to the earth. Eyes are closed for a moment. Find your breath. Fill your lungs, and then when you exhale, feel the shoulders relax. Take a breath in, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, palms to heart space. Take your left foot back and open wide to a star. Good. Sweep the arms down, around, and up. Find your star, turn the toes out. Exhale, bend into a little mini squat. Pull the elbows to the ribs and then inhale up. Exhale, palms behind the back. Interlace the fingers, find that chest expansion. Turn those toes forward so they are both in front of the heels. So your toes are facing the side of the mat. Try to keep a flat back and bend at the hip, not the back. So keep that back really flat. Start to fold. And then just lift the arms towards the back, towards your backside, pushing them away from you. Just stay here for a moment. Lift the arms a little higher to the sky, but keep your back flat. One more breath. And then keeping the hips straight and the back straight, lower all the way to that forward fold if you would like, and bring the arms overhead. Together. And then we're going to release the fingertips all the way to the floor. Now this again, if you cannot reach the floor, feel free to use a block, but I want you to straighten out your back. So make sure that back is nice and flat when you're reaching to the floor. We're not rounding or collapsing through the spine. So nice and flat back. You're going to probably feel the hamstring stretching. Let's place the right hand on the floor maybe your knuckles, fingertips, whatever, or on the block. Take your left hand to your left hip. Really lengthen through the spine and the neck. Start to twist towards the back of your mat, towards the left. Really feel that stretch through the back of that left hamstring. Try to level out your hips a little and lengthen through the neck. Then you can bend your right knee just slightly and melt a little deeper towards that back left leg. Grounding into the earth. One more breath. And if you want, you can reach your arm up. We're staying a little close to home here today on those hips. Then bring the left hand to the floor. Lengthen through the spine. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Lengthen, lengthen. So both legs are now straight. Your back is flat. Your neck is lengthened. Starting to twist towards the front of the mat, towards your right. Rotate that right shoulder up. Opening up that chest. Making sure you're not collapsing through the spine. Then you can start to bend that left knee. Notice the difference in the hips, what they do, where they go. Again, you can always reach the right arm up or keep it on that hip. As we ground into the earth, feel that nice twist through the spine from the root chakra up. And then slowly releasing both hands back to the floor. And bring your hands to your hips and lengthen and stand nice and tall. Extend the arms out and turn the toes out. Find your star again. Exhale, palms together and bring them to heart space. You're going to turn your left foot to the back of the mat and keeping your right foot towards the side. Bend into that left knee. Find your warrior two. So if you need to take your legs wider, adjust and relax the shoulders and check in if you're leaning towards the back of the mat. Find your center. Ground into the earth. Again, feel the connection up the center of the body. Look out over your left fingertips and relax those shoulders a little more. And breathe. Make sure you can see your left big toe, that your knee is not collapsing into to the right, but opening up to the left. One more breath. We're going to inhale both arms up, straighten both legs, turn your left foot to the side of the mat, right leg, right foot to the front of the mat. Bend that right knee, slide into your warrior two. Look over those right fingertips, center the body. Notice if your upper body's leaning forward or back. Shoulders are over the hips. Relax those shoulders, feel those shoulder blades going down and back. Focus and find that breath. Inhale and exhale. We're going to inhale both arms all the way up. Bring the palms to heart space. I want you to heel toe both feet in so they're a little wider than your hips. We're going to practice our yogi squat. We're going to inhale the arms up. Palms stay together and then exhale down into that yogi squat. And then slide those triceps inside those knees or thighs. Chest is up, hips are down. You're going to breathe here. And if you don't go as low, that's okay. You can sit on a block. You can use your hands on a block. Go with what feels good to you. We're going to place the fingertips on the floor, straighten out those legs. Heads down, hips up. Inhale, rise. We're going to do that one more time. And we're going to hold and pause in this position. Bring it all the way down. Place those knees and toes in alignment. Chest up, hips down. And breathe. Now, if you want to challenge yourself here, you can always try to close your eyes. Notice what you feel. Or find a drishti, a non-moving focal point in front of you. Now we're going to bring the fingertips to the floor. Straighten out those legs, slowly rise. All the way up with the hands, and then exhale, pivot to the front of your mat. Bring your fingertips down. Find your plank. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Find your strength. You're very grounded now with that yogi squat. Find your strength, find your strength. Push into those toes and then pull the elbows to the ribs. brushing past the rib cage for your chaturanga. Belly to the floor, option up dog or a little cobra. And then meet in downward facing dog. Slow, controlled movements as we flow back into that down dog. Shift the hips, walk your dog. This should feel very, very good. Relax the shoulders. And then find your downward facing dog, pressing into those fingertips, not just the palms. Soften the knees, press those heels back and down. You should never feel your low back in down dog. So if you're kind of straightening those legs out and rounding through the back, I want you to soften the knees and flatten out the back. Draw that tailbone up and back. And breathe. So you're really opening up through that chest. Let's take a nice cleansing breath here. As you breathe in through the nose and a nice exhale through the mouth. Spread out those toes. Let's do one more cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now you're going to plant your left heel, lift your right leg up to a three-legged dog. And then you're going to bend that right knee and we're going to bring it forward to a pigeon. Knee to wrist and then slide back. So you're sliding into that right hip. That left leg is lengthened. Option is your reclining pigeon. You can always lay on your back. And then walk those hands forward. Sliding your forehead to your back of your hands. And just feeling that nice stretch. Now if this bothers your knee, I'm going to demonstrate a option. If you don't want to be there, you can cross your right thigh, right ankle over left thigh. And you can hold your back of your left thigh or you can straighten the leg. So that's an option, a variation. It's called reclining pigeon. So either one is fine. Think about where your hips are, where your left hip flexors open, right hips on the floor. Maybe walk those hands forward and go to the fingertips like tents. Lengthening, leveling out those hips. Maybe your forehead's on the floor, really grounding into the earth. If your fingertips are on the floor, go ahead and flatten out those palms. And then start to walk your hands in towards the shins and then open up the chest. Feel a nice opening and stretching through that left hip flexor, but still think about grounding into the earth through that root chakra. And even going up into the second chakra. As you breathe deeply and push in and up through the diaphragm and the belly. And then go ahead and tuck your back left toes under. We're going to transition back to a three-legged dog, lengthening and pressing that right leg up. Take your time, finding that length. And then when you're ready, place that right foot on the floor so both feet are down to a downward facing dog. And again, soften the knees, flatten out that back, draw that tailbone up and back. Open that chest. As it draws towards the thighs, head between the hands, let your head hang heavy. Take a cleansing breath here. Inhale, exhale through the mouth. One more of those. Inhale and exhale. Now ground into your right foot. Extend that left leg up for a three-legged dog. And then bend the knee and draw it forward. Left knee to left hand, left foot to right ankle, wrist. And then slide that right leg back. So the back of the top of the knee and the top of the right foot is on the floor. You're sitting on that left hip. Feel free to put a block under that hip if the floor is far away, or a pillow or a blanket. A couple shifts on the hips before you walk the hands forward. You can stack your hands so you can walk them forward, working on leveling out those hips. And again, a variation, if that hurts your knees, is to lay on your back, cross your left ankle over the right thigh, and just pull in that right leg or straighten. So there's your variation for a nice glute and hamstring stretch there. If your arms are extended, maybe bring your forehead to the floor, fingertips to the floor like tents. And then flatten out those palms, pressing them into the floor. Notice how the hips change when you really press those palms down. Get you a little deeper into that posture. And then we're going to walk the hands back up towards the shins, opening up that chest and that right hip flexor. And breathe, grounding into the earth. Again, feeling the connection from the root chakra. Think about the colors red and orange and yellow as it works your way up. The different chakras down there in the base. Lengthening through the spine. Feel the crown of the head to the earth, to the sky. Tuck your back right toe under as we transition back to our three-legged dog. Lifting that left leg, planting into that right heel. And then bend that left knee and then slowly bring that left foot to the floor. Take your time working through it. There's not a rush. Shifting your hips if you need to, walking your dog, pedaling out your feet, and then melting into your downward facing dog. Feel the shoulders as they drift away from the ears towards your back pockets. Open that chest. Keeping those knees soft or bent, really staying away from anything going into that low back. Now we're slowly going to, you can walk forward to a forward fold, or you can bend your knees and do a nice little hop forward. Again, whatever works for you. And once we get forward into our forward fold, we're going to walk the big toes together and squeeze the thighs together. We're going to soften the knees and let the belly rest deep into the thighs. Let your belly go down onto those thighs. Hips are back. And then we're going to open and lift to chair, Uttanasana. Draw those arms up, biceps on either side of the ears. If this is tough on the shoulders or you feel really tight, you can always bring your palms to heart space. Now when you're here, I want you to look down and make sure you can see your big toes. If your knees are too far forward, you might not be able to. Maybe you slide your hips back. And maybe you have to come higher on that chair, and that's okay. One more breath. Bring the palms to heart space and then straighten up all the way. Grounding into the earth, opening up that chest, draw those shoulders down. Palms face the front of your mat. And breathe. So we're going to do a couple balance postures here. So if you need a wall, feel free, because I want you to be really stable and grounded. So ground into that left foot. We're going to start with a figure 4. So you're going to bring your right leg up off the ground and cross that right ankle over the left thigh, right above the knee. Option to bring your palms to heart space, elbows up, or you can leave your arms open next to the side, palms forward. And then you can stay there, or you can start to melt into that left leg, bending the knee, drawing it down. Option is you can ground all the way down to the earth, bringing the fingertips to the earth and the foot in the elbow and the knee in the elbow, and you can even interlace those fingers. So you're nice and flat back, but you're hugging that knee. Again, belly's on that thigh. Finding that strength, grounding into the earth with that left foot. And then you're going to, on your next inhale, you're going to release and draw all the way up, keeping the figure 4. Stand up nice and tall. Reach the arms overhead. We're going to release that right foot from a figure 4, but send it straight back, transitioning to your warrior 3. Right leg is all the way back. Maybe you bring your arms out to the side or even back behind you. Again, use a wall if you need to, or the floor. One leg might be more wobbly than the left. My left is definitely wobblier than my right. Level out the hips, and then bring both hands to the floor and both feet together. Sliding the feet, toes touching. Flatten out the back, but draw the head towards the knees. forward fold. So you're lengthening up the back of the legs, and your belly is towards the thighs, but you're not collapsing too much. Try to really lengthen. Start to half lift. Flatten that back. Exhale, fold. Now let everything just hang. Slowly bend the knees, rise up, inhale. Let's exhale to chair one more time. Palms at heart space. See if you can get a little deeper into that chair. Maybe bringing the arms up. And breathing. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, the arms next to the body, grounding those feet into the earth. Really feel that support of gravity. Grounding into that right foot. Slowly lifting the left leg, crossing it over for figure four. Opening up the knee. Find your dristi. It's a non-moving focal point out in front of you. Soften your gaze. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring your palms to heart space. Maybe you start to lower down, bending into the right knee. Maybe you reach your fingertips to the floor, and the feet and the knees in the bicep or in the elbows, and you can interlace the fingers. Again, lots of variations. Pick which one feels good to you and feels safe. You want to feel grounded and safe, not wobbly. Maybe you're against a wall, and that feels much more grounded and safe, and that's fine. That's what we do. Find those postures, those variations that work for us. On the next inhale, if your arms are intertwined or want to release them, rise up, straighten the legs, inhale the arms overhead. You're going to release your figure four, extend the left leg back, hinge at the hips, find your warrior three. Level out your hips, push your heel to the back of the mat, straightening out the right leg. And again, one leg might be wobblier than the other. One day may be different than the other. Maybe your arms are wide, maybe behind you. Again, lots of options. And after your next breath, bring your hands to the floor and then feet to the floor. This time your feet can be apart slightly, and then bend your knees and let your belly go to your thighs again. Just like a low squat, hands on the floor so you have support. And then you're going to rock it lower all the way down. If you need to get on the floor a different way, you can. And you're going to slowly lower. If you plop on the floor, try not to plop. Lower to the floor and straighten out the legs. Find your Dandasana and pull those glutes out. Sitting nice and tall, flexing the feet. Feel the back of the legs, glutes, heels, everything grounding into the earth. Feel that support. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Lengthen through the base of the spine and start to hinge through the hips. Reaching forward to those toes. Maybe you grab the first two big toes with the two fingers. Back is nice and tall and flat. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and just bend through the elbows. Now, if you can't reach your toes, you can use a strap. You can use the thighs, the back of the knees, the ankles. Leaning into it. Tuck your chin slightly so you can really lengthen through the back of the neck. And breathe. Maybe you hold the outside edges of your feet. Maybe you shake out your knees a little bit. Do a little up down with them. It helps lower into that posture. If you can reach your toes, you can just do a little gentle press on the base of the toes to give a little release. One more breath. Then after your next exhale, take an inhale, rise. Arms up. Exhale, both arms out to the side. We're going to pull that right knee in. You're going to cross that right foot. Place it on the floor on the outside edge of your left thigh. Wrap your left arm nice and tight around that right knee. Lift and twist toward your right thigh. Right hand on the floor behind you as a kickstand. Lift a little taller through the spine. Flex your left foot and then look behind you with your head. Twist and look over your right shoulder. Now as you breathe, feel the rib cage expanding, feel the belly expanding. And then as you exhale, See if you can relax into that twist a little deeper. And again, do that one more time. And then we'll release. Coming all the way back. Go ahead and uncross that right leg. Find your Dandasana again. Wiggle through the hips. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Reach the arms. Exhale. Pull that left knee in. Cross it over. Place that foot on the floor. Take your right arm and wrap it nice and tight around the left knee. Flex your right foot. Lift through the spine. Left arm as a kickstand and twist into it. Now this is where you want to breathe in. Feel the belly and the chest expanding, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Just notice the difference in the two sides. Keep that right foot flexed and really sit up tall. And twist a little deeper. And after your last breath there, unwind. Release the feet to the front of the mat. Shift your body forward with the knees bent, heels on the floor. Hold the back of the thighs. Lengthen through the spine. Start to hinge back so you find your supported boat. Option to bring your feet up. Shoulders relaxed. Release those hands. So the thumbs are to the sky. Palms face the knees. Now squeeze your knees and your feet together. Pull those shoulders away from the ears and really lengthen through the spine as you breathe in and out. Enjoying that boat. Bring those palms to heart space. Again, optional. If you're holding the thighs, that's fine. Twist gently to your left. And just breathe here. Embrace the balance and the shakiness. One more breath. And then we're going to twist to the other side, all the way to the right. And again, relax those shoulders, lengthen. Grounding into the earth. Feel that tailbone, those glutes attached to the earth. And then come back to center. And then slowly lower to that low back on the floor. You're holding on to the thighs and your knees are about 90 degrees and the feet and the knees are going to separate. So hips, low back on the floor. Draw a straight line up from your hips to the knees and then a straight arm out. So there, if you want to put a tray on your shins, you can. It's like a tabletop. And then flex the heels, the ankles. Slowly lower your head all the way to the floor. And then walk your shoulders away from your ears. Just walk those shoulder blades down a little. And just hold this position. Really feel the belly button pushing into the earth. Think about your root chakra, your pelvic floor, lifting everything. Then relax your hands next to the body. Strengthening. Now you're going to pull your right knee into your chest and lengthen your left leg to the front of your mat, but try not to let it touch. So both feet are still flexed. Now option to lift your chest up towards your thigh, your nose to your knee. And just breathe and hold. And then very slowly, switching legs. You can let your head go back to the floor. Relax your shoulders. Keep your right leg off the floor, flexed. If you can, again, working those core muscles just a bit deep down in our core. And then option to lift your chest, your knee towards, and your nose to the knee and knee to the nose. And then slowly release both legs coming into the chest. Let your head go to the floor and a little rock side to side. Then go ahead and bring your palms down on the floor. Release one foot at a time to the floor. And walk your feet in about hip distance apart. Maybe reaching your fingertips towards your heels. Then we're going to lengthen to a bridge. Lifting the hips. Lengthening through that low back. Through the spine. Lifting the hips up so you can really feel the length in the spine. And maybe in those hip flexors and those quads, depending on if you're tight there. Shoulders relaxed. One more breath. And then we're slowly going to lower the hips all the way back to the floor. Now you're going to take your right ankle and cross it over the left and press that knee open. So a little bit of hip openers today along with our grounding into that root chakra. And we're going to lift the hips off the floor as we go into also that second chakra. Right below that belly button there. And then slowly lower those hips back down. And then uncross that right foot and place it on the floor. Take your left ankle over your right thigh. Open the knee first. Pressing into that right foot, lift the hips. Think of the color orange. And then slowly lower all the way back down to those hips. And then uncross that left foot and place it back on the floor. You're going to bring your arms out like cactus arms, back of the hands on the floor, elbows bent. And walk your feet as wide as your mat. And then draw your knees together, pushing your low back into the mat. Take a breath in and slowly let it out. Feel the chest expanding. Keeping the feet wide, you're going to drop both knees to your right. Let your head turn to the left. Now, option, you can stay here, let the knees fall open. You can also take your right ankle or foot and place it on top of your left thigh or left knee. This is optional. Just breathe here, close your eyes. Enjoy that nice grounding twist. One more breath. And then let your head come back to neutral first. Uncross that right foot if it's crossed. Slowly bring up one knee at a time, the left and the right. Find the center of your hips and reposition your feet nice and wide. Draw the knees together for a moment. Notice the difference. And then start to draw both knees to your left. And then turn your head to the right. So the feet are still wide. Knees are dropped to the left. Option to take your left foot and place it on top of that right knee or thigh. So it really opens up that right hip. And just breathe. Notice the front of the body all the way up through the chest, opening up. But yet it feels so good, like just grounding. The body is calming. One more breath. And you'll bring your head back to neutral and uncross that left foot, place it back on the floor, bring both the knees back to neutral, and this time walk your feet and knees all the way together. Just do a little hip tilt so you can push that low back into the mat. You're going to hug your right knee into the chest and extend your left leg all the way to the front of your mat. Flex your right foot and now send your right foot to the sky, holding behind your thigh, but pull the shoulders away from your ears. Now maybe this is plenty for you, or maybe you walk your hands higher up, the shin or the calf area. Circle the ankle, both directions. Just notice that stretch and the hamstring. Option to bring your nose to your knee. And then slowly lower your head to the floor. Bend your right knee. Pull your left knee into your chest first, then extend your right leg. Realign everything so it feels good. Extend your left leg all the way up. Maybe send the hands higher. Rotating the ankle. Option to bring the nose to the knee. And then release back down. Hug that left knee into the chest. Then bring that right knee in. And then find your happy baby, holding onto the toes or the outside of the feet. You can always wrap your arms on the inside to of the thighs to the outside of the feet. Little rock side to side. Try different positions, whatever works for you. And then find your center, pulling those knees down towards your armpits, bottoms of the feet towards the sky. And then slowly release and hug the knees. Extend all the way. Now releasing the legs to the floor. Find your Shavasana. Let your legs fall open. Palms are up. Go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to pause here for a moment. Find your breath. Feel the body grounding into the earth. Let's turn the palms down so they're on the earth. Spread out the fingers. Shoulders walk away from the ears. Let your legs fall open. Bring your focus to your breath as you inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, flip your palms back up and open that chest. Let your legs fall further open. And then let your breath go back to normal. And wiggle your fingers, your toes. And you can hug your knees and roll up, or you can bend your knees and roll to your side. Or you can even stay in your Shavasana. It's up to you, however you want to be. We're going to meet up in our easy seat. Sitting nice and tall. Let's line up the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over hips, palms face down on the thighs. Pull the elbows to the rib cage. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Feel yourself grounding into the earth from the tailbone through the root chakra all the way up through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead, exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.